The Met Office have issued several weather warnings across the country. That's as Storm Antoni passes over the UK during the next 24 hours. Forecasters are expecting strong winds of up to 65 miles per hour and heavy rain, with potential disruption to travel and outdoor activities. Well, we can bring in now James Lester. He's a weather forecaster with WeatherQuest. Good to see you this afternoon. Tell us a bit more about Antoni and who's going to feel the brunt of it.
Yeah, so Storm Antoni's been named by the Met Office this afternoon for strong winds and for its impacts over the rest of Saturday. So the worst affected areas are likely to be parts of South Wales and southwest England, with gusts here quite widely, 45 to 50 miles per hour, 60 to 65 possible on the exposed coast and over the hills as well. So some quite disruptive weather for the first weekend in August.
And it's the first storm to be named by the Met Office this season, isn't it? What is the bar for naming a storm?
So the Met Office names storms based on the impact scale that they have for issuing weather warnings, and due to the impacts of this one being in late summer now, and some unseasonably strong winds and outdoor events taking place, they felt that it was the need to issue a weather warning for it and hence name it.
And for the uninitiated on this, we get asked a lot as presenters, how do they name storms? This is Antoni with an I, isn't it, at the end, not Antoni with a Y. How do they get named?
So it's a joint venture, I think, between the Met Office and the Irish Met Service for issuing storms that affect England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Ireland and Scotland. They're named, so the list is set at the beginning of each storm year, which runs, I believe, September to September each year. We go through those lists of names, starting with A, similar to how Atlantic hurricanes are named in the US.
I see. And just the bigger picture for the summer, you know, people bemoaning, like, where is the summer here in Britain? Yeah. How does it compare? And yeah. Why have we got this kind of weather here, where in Europe people are, you know, posting pictures of themselves on sun loungers?
Yeah, well, it's all tied into the same thing. So we've had a very unusually strong jet stream for the time of year, and it's been sunk very far south than is typical as well. So currently it's sat across parts of northern Europe, and that's keeping us on the cooler side of the jet stream and sending us areas of low pressure constantly over the country, and that bringing very wet and windy weather at times, more akin to autumn rather than midsummer. July itself was a pretty unusually wet one as well, especially compared to last July.
And just give us a little bit of hope, James. I mean, it does look, certainly on my app, it looks like it's picking up next week, maybe?
There are some signs of hope, at least for a few days next week. Around the middle to end of next week, there does look like a sign of some drier and sunnier and perhaps a little bit warmer weather for a little while, but it does look like it won't be long before we start seeing some wet weather moving back in from the west.
Oh, what you giveth with one hand, you take us with the other.
Don't want to lie to you.
As always the same with you weather people. Thank you very much for talking to us on Sky.
No worries.